Hey, I'm going to go over a technique that's described in Merlin's guide to the Octatrack called abusing tracks for live input. It's the very last thing in the guide, and it's one of my favorite things you can do with an Octatrack. So right now I've got some synths plugged into input C and D here. I'm going to bring the direct signal up for C and D and play this loop. Alright, so we have that coming in here. We can hear it because it's direct, but if we kill it, we're not going to be able to hear anything until we start recording it and doing something with it. So on track 5, I'm going to open up my recording settings, make sure that we're just recording input C and D. We're going to record 16 steps at a time and nothing else. And so that recording is going to go to recording buffer 5, and we're also going to set track 5 to play back whatever's in recording buffer 5. So we do that by picking a flex machine and selecting R5, which is already selected. So now if we start recording on this track, we're going to record whatever's going into those inputs C and D. And the way we're going to record is we're going to do function we're going to do function bank and go to rec trig, turn the sequencer on, put a recording trig on step 1. So if we start playing, we will record, but we're not going to hear anything because we've just sequenced a recording trig. So we can do that right now. If we look at buffer 5, you can see data is just repeatedly being put into that buffer over and over again every time we hit this recording trig, but we're not hearing it. In order to hear it, we got to go up to the regular trig sequencer and also put a trig on step 1. So now you can see in real time we're recording and playing back the same buffer all at once. Okay, well that's basically like a through track, but what's cool is we can start putting in more steps here. So let's do something like this. And now the buffer is going to reset and play back from the beginning every time we get to one of these recording trigs. Right? We can see it resetting. And we can put locks in here, right? So we could reverse playback speed here. This could start from halfway through the buffer. We copy that trig, put it here. Now if we look at what's happening in the buffer, pretty interesting stuff. I'm going to add just one more for flavor. So that's pretty cool. But we can also, in addition to adding more trigs like this, we can play around with the recording trigs and get some pretty interesting results, because right now this is just sort of picking up everything in real time. But if we turn this recording trig into a one-shot trig, now we're not recording new audio. We have to arm that trig in order to record new audio, and we arm by hitting yes. So if we hit yes, all of a sudden that trig's going to be armed. We're going to record something new in the buffer, and the sound's going to change. We'll arm it again. And those one-shot trigs do not just need to be on step 1. We can put a bunch of them in, and usually it's best if we put them where there's already steps so that we don't get dropouts. So we could do something like this, and then maybe add a step there, and now reset some of these. Cool. So it's a basic idea of how to use the track recorder at the same time as playback to get some pretty cool results out of the OT.